Hi everyone, our journal page today, and I'm working in this sketchbook. It's quite large, it's an A3, and I've already gessoed my page because I want the colors I'm going to put in the background not to soak into the page and that I can have enough time to play with them. So I grabbed some colors. I've got some burnt sienna from Art Deco. I've got a or Deco Art, and I've got this rust from Art Deco and some golden brown from Deco Art, and I don't know, some olive green, honig, I don't know. It really doesn't matter, just to play with these colors. And let's see, I think I'll put colors here, and just we'll see what happens. Not quite sure what I'm going to do on my page. As usual, I've got some vague idea and then I'm just going along with it. Okay, not enough burnt sienna left. Good enough. Okay, so let's see. I'm dipping my brush into water just a little bit. I don't want it to drip. I just want the color to, again, to have the option to move and blend. So here I've got too much water, I already can see it, but I will just go over. Shouldn't have put this much water. I tried to take a little bit. Didn't work. Okay, I'm dipping into this, not cleaning my brush. I want everything to mix, to blend, not to mix. Let's see, I want some movement in my page, so you can say that I'm outlining the backbone of the movement and just will go along with this. I'm leaving the green right now because, as I said, it's too wet, and I will get back to this color when it's a little bit more dry, and then I will go over. I like how I have still green here, and in some places it mixes with the color that I'm now using. Okay, let's see. This is old paint, and it has all kind of junk in it. I'm trying to get rid of all this paint I have, very old paint. More junk. As you can see, because I have the gesso, I can still move the paint and play with it. If I didn't gesso my page, it would immediately soak in. I'm trying to create the movement without stopping, so I won't have marks in the middle of my page. But it's not that important because there are going to be stuff covering. It's just the background, so don't need to concern myself too much about it. Okay, I think I need more of this golden brown. It's like the halfway point between the colors. Okay, let's get back to the green and hope that now it will work. Okay, so much better. So no water. It seems like the gesso is enough to make my paints slide on the page and not soak in. Okay. I've dipped into the golden brown again, so it will mix with the green. Blend with the green better. Okay, let's clean my brush a little bit because I want to add some of the rust color. Don't know why it's called rust, it looks more like pumpkin or something. Just need to fix. Yeah, that's better. So that's my background, and now I need for this to dry completely before I continue. I'm going to move this aside, and we are going to move to the next stage for what is going to be on top of it. So this is going here. Let's move this. If I won't move it, I will just be in the paint and everything will smear. It's a talent. Okay, so we've got a clean here surface, and I have mulberry papers that I want to use on my page. Now you don't have to have mulberry paper, you can use whatever paper you want to work with on top, and these are just were in colors that went with my background, and they were solid colors, and so it wasn't interesting enough for me, so I just sprayed them with my homemade sprays. They're still a little bit wet. I just used a little bit of a dark green, some olive green, and just a little bit of brown. You can hardly see it. I just wanted it, didn't want it to be a solid color. So what I want to do is start cutting some leaf shape out of them, and I'm putting them one on top of each other because it just will save time. Let's see, let's take some. Okay, so I want some kind of a leaf, and again I'm going with the same a movement I have on my page, this kind of S that was stretched. That's the only thing that I can describe it. And I want a little one. I'm planning on putting them one on top of each other. I think we'll see what will happen. Maybe do another. No, I think I'll do this smaller one, something like that, and a bigger one, a larger one, sorry, like that. I think we'll see what happens. So I want to cut this. I will do more. I'm using these are nail scissors each time that I want anything that I want to cut that has a curvy shape to it. I'm using these scissors because they have a curve and it's easier to cut with this. So my mulberry paper is a little bit still wet from the spraying, so it's giving me some hard time right now cutting the shape. You've seen how I flipped the scissors to match the curve of my leaf. That's how you cut round curvy things without having rough edges. And I'm going to flip it again. Like so. So now I have this 3 leaves that to start playing. So I'm going to cut more of this, wait for everything to be completely dry, and I'll come back. Okay, so this is dry. I've cut some pieces to use and I'm still leaving them here. I want to add some details to my background. First of all, I want to go around the edges and darken them. I've got ground espresso, Tim Holtz distress ink, and some makeup sponge. And I'm using this round one because it gives me more well, less straight edges when I'm using this. It's easier to darken the edges without getting all kinds of straight edges that just don't blend with the rest of the page. So I'm just going and adding some more definition to the edges, darken them. And I'm trying to, as I said, to darken the edges, but I don't want a line. I want it to blend in. So as you can see, I'm going also in and trying to blend it. Of course, this also gives an impression of a circle, but it's less noticeable than using the regular makeup sponges. this corner just don't want to get more darker. I don't know what's going on. I'm going to use now an brown eyeliner. Why? Because it's dry and it's really easy to smear. Don't want to add something wet right now to my page. So now I've got a more defined edges, and also here. Okay, start smearing. Yeah, that's what I was going for. Now I'm happy. And a little bit more details to the background. I've got this stencil, and it also goes with the whole movement of the page, and I want it very faded in the background. It doesn't need to be a great impression, just like a shadow in the background. Yeah, I'm not even going to do the whole thing. Yeah. I'm going very quickly because it doesn't need to be very defined. It's just, as I said, some shadows in the background. Yeah. Let's see. Let's add a little bit more here. Yeah, this is it. So now it's the time for playing with the placement of these leaves. I'm going to just play around and see where I want them to go. I'm not sure I will use everything, all the ones that I cut, so I will have options to play with. I think I will put this one here. Just let's see. Something like that. So now it's the boring part. I'm just going to glue this down. I'm going to use a glue stick. I don't want any wet glue to smear whatever I have here. So I'll be back once everything is glued in place. I'm back. So I finished gluing them, and they a little bit going into the background. And first I thought about using gold to outline its shape, but I think it won't be enough. My gold acrylic paint is not that great, so I'm going to do this with black permanent marker, and maybe I will add some gold afterwards. Now I'm just going around the shapes like so. So this is the easy part. The scary part is that I want to do some stems, and I don't want to make a mistake. It needs to be again some curvy line. I'm thinking that maybe I will use some chalk to outline the stems before I approach it and try to do it with a permanent marker. So what I'm going to do is continue outlining the shapes, and I'll be back. So here it is, everything is outlined. I've done the stems. As I said, I just use some chalk to give me a hint where to go without doing any kind of mistake. So I went with the permanent marker and then just wiped the chalk away. Now I want to still give it a little bit of gold. Not sure how to go about it. Maybe just some lines. I don't know how much it will show, but especially on video, anything glittery and metallic can hardly be seen. And I need to go over here. Yeah. I thought about gold splatter, but I really like what I have here, and I don't want to start worrying about the gold splatter going all over what I have here. So I'm just playing around with it, and also the mulberry paper just soaks the gold right in, so that's part of the problem of how it's not showing. Let's see. No, can hardly see it. I'm leaving it. I like it. Not going to touch it. I thought about adding some words, but as I said, like it as is, leaving it be. So I hope you liked it. Thank you for watching, and thank you for leaving me comments below. I'll be seeing you in my next video. Bye for now.